So to give you an example of a polar coordinate, first of all, I'd like you to remember what is the other type of coordinate. It's the rectangular coordinate. We call it the Cartesian coordinate. Okay, so in that case, we always have a y-axis and a x-axis, and then I'll give you a certain point, and then all you need to know is what is the x-axis value. For example, in this case, I make it a 4, and then the relative y-axis value a 3. So we will write that point's name as 4 and then 3, because it's always x-axis first and then the y-axis. And then if it's over here, again another example, so that's -2, then that's -3. So -2 and -3. Okay, so that is rectangular coordinate. But for a polar coordinate, we have only one line that we call the polar axis. Okay, and then the other end of the polar axis we have the origin. Okay, so how do we define any points in a polar coordinate? Is, for example, I have this point called A. Basically is the length from the origin. So for example, just make a R, and then the angle it's made from the polar axis going anti-clockwise. So this angle here. So the point A is actually called the length of from the origin to the point, and then followed by the angle. Okay, so if I'm giving you another example, I want B, and it's 5,130. So how do I draw in into my polar axis? Is, again, I know the length is 5 cm, but I need to know the angle first. So angle is 130. So again, from the polar axis, I have to go 130 degrees. So that means, so since if I go straight, a quarter is 90 degrees, so it's another 40 degrees over to the other side. So this is 130 degrees, and I just need to make a length go up 5. So in this case, say for example, this is 5 and this is 130. Okay, so that would be the point B's location. And then make another example, 7 and 230. So obviously if you know the, well, so that's 90, and that's 270. So since it's 230, since we're going anti-clockwise, we are going in this area. So this is 180, so another 50 degrees. So that would be another 50 degrees down. So that about that. And then it's longer than point B. So this is called point C. The angle is 230, and then the point length, the length from the origin to C is 7. Okay, and say for example, now you want to know the angle made between B and C. Okay, it's pretty simple, because we want to find this portion only. So because the whole thing is 230, and then the previous one was just 130, so that means the angle we're looking for, if we just want to find the angle between, so for BOC, so that would be just 230 minus 130, that would be 100 degrees. Okay, and normally we can just do a big number minus the smaller number, and we can find the angle in between those two points. So in this case, angle BOC.